People who are good at flirting. What are some social cues us oblivious people should watch out for? Everyone is giving good advice, but flirting didn't click for me until I heard it described not as a set of behaviors to look out for, but as an escalation of suggestive behaviors couched in plausible deniability. Put practically, if someone is doing something to engage you that feels extra, lots of touching, looking at you in a way that feels a bit long, or doing a lot of poking fun and complimenting you, then that might be flirting or it might not. That's the whole point. Plausible deniability. They can safely disengage at any time. If you want to know if someone's flirting, you need to test it. You do that by escalating things, but just a bit, so that now you have plausible deniability, touch them back in a comfortable way, maintain eye contact, or jock a compliment them back. If they escalate back and continue to do so as you escalate in turn, that is flirting. Eventually one of you will break cover and do something with clear intent, a kiss, an approach plus ask for a number, or straight up telling them what you think of them and that you're interested. Otherwise, if you escalate and they don't change their behavior or they back off, then they were probably just being friendly and you should take the hint and do the same. Dunno if that's something obvious to people, but it was definitely not for me, and college parties would have been way less fun had I not known. Hopefully this can help someone else too. Write that down, write that down. If you're in a group of friends, new or old, find a natural opportunity to hang back. Someone who's interested in you will notice and take the opportunity to talk to you in private. Now this isn't foolproof, but it'll at least give you the opportunity to feel for any chemistry between you. Be wary of a one-sided conversation. If your responses are met with mostly yaps and and nothing without meat, it's probably not going well. This is why I don't have actual real-life friends. I never know what to say and just sit there silently and occasionally nod. People love to talk about themselves, ask open-ended questions that let them ramble. If you actively listen, Google it, there's videos that help, and occasionally relate back to earlier conversations. Is this the same girl you were telling me about with the big earrings? That's the place where Jim fell off his chair, right? You'll be a really good listener and people will love talking at you, sometimes too much. Holy shit, did not expect this to resonate with people, thanks for awards. This advice is literally from the Dale Carnegie book How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you'd like follow-up reading. People will love talking at you, sometimes too much. This is the step I'm at, help. Good at flirting also means recognizing when the other party isn't receptive. If they're answering briskly and killing conversation, cut your losses and move on. Flirting is like sales. You won't get everyone. But if you chat with enough people, you'll find someone into you. Always be closing. A. Always. B. C. Closing. I remember going on 9 dates with a girl who just got out of a long relationship and just wanted to be friends, to which I had said cool, let's just hang out then. One night she was dropping me off at my place after a movie. Turned the car off, put her arm on my headrest as we chatted before I got out. I was fully in the mindset that we were just friends, so I shook her hand. Good night. Rip. Honestly though, that's a fucking power move. Can confirm, she should have been more clear about what she wanted. If they look directly at you while talking to their friend, it's a good sign. Oh god, it's looking at me, get security or something. God damn it, I laughed way too hard at that. Who did you look at? I read once that if someone looks at you after someone, doesn't have to be you, said something funny and everyone is laughing, they like you. From personal experience, it's true. This is like 90% true. It could also be someone you just admire. I heard this many years ago and sort of mentally logged the data. I found myself looking at good leaders as well in the professional world. But yeah, mostly the girl I found cutest as well, outside professional life. I just learned something way too obvious about myself. Kinda knew it, but yeah, if someone says something I think is funny, I'll often check myself against the people I respect most. Usually it's my wife or my boss or a really good friend. Yup, same. When I'm with my family, I've mostly caught myself looking at my mom and grandfather to see if they thought something was funny too. They make a lot of eye contact. They are interested in what you have to say and ask you lots of questions. They laugh at your jokes, even the lame ones. They initiate physical contact. They try to find space where you can talk more privately This does not always mean sex, but it often means they wish for more quality time with you. Edit, as other users have mentioned, do not take these as signs that a worker is interested in you. They literally get paid to seem interested in the concerns of every customer client. Furthermore, any of these one signs alone is not confirmation someone likes you. Everyone flirts differently, and some may not even use any of the above. These were simply some traits that came to mind based off my limited experience. I have never been an expert at reading signals, I was always shy, but I think the most important aspect of flirting is demonstrating that you take a keen interest in the other person and want as much in time to get to know them better as a person. Some people will rush the sexual aspect of dating, at which point their flirtations become more physical and obvious. But for most dating adults, signals are more subtle and revealed through conversation. For the first two questions, this does not always apply to service workers or retail employees. It's their job to be extra nice, they sometimes have to laugh at your jokes, and they have to seem interested in what you say. Does someone spend a lot of time around you? I'm terrible at flirting, but that's my method. Hang out. Be with this person. See if you vibe. My Netflix and I really vibing, man. Edit, cheers for the awards. Now one of my most popular comments is about me and my relation to my Netflix, which will now forever be dubious. Okay, but I've been in a steady relationship with Netflix for years, so I think you're just reading the signs wrong. I can't believe I've been taking login and watch now wrong all these years. Generally, there's no one thing that gives it away. Everyone says to look for eye contact, look at posture, look for mimicry, etc., and sure, there's some truth to that, but no one should be expected to keep track of all of those things, and not everyone exhibits any particular one. In my experience, almost everyone can get a sense that someone is into them, but most people second guess themselves until they convince themselves it's nothing. I say trust that sense. It's based off all of these factors that we pick up consciously and subconsciously, and almost always it's not a coincidence. When you think someone likes you, you can test that theory in a few ways. A subtle but effective example is inviting them to something you know they can't or don't want to attend. If they express interest in rescheduling or finding some other way to spend time with you, they like you. Otherwise, they'll just say no, sorry, I can't make it. This works because you're showing interest in spending additional time with them. This event would be more enjoyable for me if you were there, and if they like you, they will be sure to make it clear that they are saying no to the event, not to you. Of course, you could also just ask. In my experience, anyone worth getting intimate with is mature enough to deal with that question. A few examples of things that have helped give away someone's feelings for me. Telling their friends about me. Remembering my schedule or other similar information. Telling me about their previous interest with striking similarities. Bragging about themselves in ways that would make a potential partner happy. I give great back massages or I cook a mean omelette. Asking what my plans are at the end of a party gathering instead of their friends. Looking for or grasping onto shared interests. But what if I just want people to know I cook a mean omelette? First, you should think long and hard about why your omelets are inherently mean to other people. Does their body turn toward you or away from you when you talk? Do they mirror your body language? Usually they have their back to me. What does that say? They are presenting the booty. You know the rule. If the booty is presented, the relationship is cemented. Don't take flirting advice from Reddit. Where else am supposed to get advice for the fake arguments with my shampoo bottles in the shower? Small body language clues. If she puts her feet behind her ears, she probably likes you. Maybe she's just Canadian. Your best bet is to just keep your wits about you and continue to look for signs. Physical contact. Granted, not everyone flirts the same way, but a good sign is if they touch your arm or the like, or you find them smiling the whole time that you're talking to them. Edit, wow. My most upvoted comment easily. Thank you all for the awards. Once I had a classmate, gal, who sat beside me during class. She actually told me to save that seat for her for the rest of sem. She would play footsies with me and hit me in my legs with her knees. She also asked me what my favorite drink is and bought me that specific drink during our finals. Sem has passed and I didn't push on. Ahahaha, dumbass me. There is still time. Actually, she died in a tragic footsie-related accident the next day. So everyone at jiu-jitsu class likes me. Glad to know they're not just trying to nearly kill me. Wink at them next time when they're doing the flirty touching, that'll send them the right signals. Yeah, kick them in the right spot and they fall head over heels. When I patted my classmate on her back and shoulder telling her she would pass her history test and not worry. She gave a slight gasp and looked straight into my eyes. She would pass her history test. Only way to do it. When they find opportunities to come talk to you more often, when they don't really have to, and linger for longer than they have to as well. Everybody saying eye contact. Like do y'all's friends fucking stare at the floor when they talk to you? Gosh damn. If eye contact was a sign of flirting, then everyone I meet throughout my day must think I'm hot shit. Supermarket staff, the lady at the park, when I was walking the dog, I shared a moment with the old bloke at the servo. It is Reddit, a website full of people who don't know how to run their own lives telling other people how to run their lives. While staring at the floor, yes. All the advice in this entire thread, and I'm sitting here like, I'm so damn oblivious I wouldn't even notice these things looking for them. I really don't pick up social cues at all though. Seriously, tell a bad joke, look for laughter and smiles that should not be there but are. Then it's you they are into, definitely not what you said. Oh yuck, you're trying to flirt, aren't you? Dodging a bullet tbh. According to Reddit, I've dodged more bullets than Keanu fucking Reeves. My go-to is, what did the farmer say when he lost his tractor? What? Where's my tractor? If they laugh, they either really like you, have heard the joke before, or are a tad crazy. Once you hear it a couple times it actually starts getting funny though. I just tried this on my wife and I guess marriage has different rules. That one probably works better for crushes than marriages. You lose the obligation to laugh at someone's joke once you live in the same house. Might I suggest? What did the fish say when he ran into a wall? Damn. One time I got the courage to look at someone in the eyes and said I need one of those hugs that turn into sex. He laughed, haha, said me too, then continued talking about what we were previously talking about. I thought about running face first into a wall. Edit. Okay, came back from dinner and got so many notifications. This was just a one-off comment venting about my sad love life. This actually happened this week, haha. I could answer a few questions before I die of sadness and embarrassment. Edit 2, it seems like from all the comments, 40% thinks Hess clueless for not picking up the hint. 40% thinks him clueless for not following up his reply with a hug, 20% thinks Hess not into me. All fair. Again, you can't really tell, she could be Canadian and just be nice. To those who don't get it, it's a joke based on this video by Casually Explained. I love Casually Explained. It's like he's the most self-aware Redditor that's actually funny. I need one of those running face first into a walls that turns into sex. Haha, so anyways. When you're in a public space, the direct eye contact for a beat or two too long and the look away. One of my go-to moves that always yielded results. I did this once, got conscious at which eye to look at, so I stared in between their eyes, just above the nose. I felt stupid. I snorted, preventing a sudden laugh from happening. It was a good icebreaker though, so there's that. They say when you're talking to someone who you feel intimidated by, boss, parent, potential partners etc., to look at them near their eyes. Bridge of nose, forehead, between the eyebrows, somewhere that is close enough they can't tell you're not looking at their eyes, they can't tell, and they think you're maintaining eye contact, while you will feel less insecure because you're just looking at their wiggly eyebrows. I used to have crippling shyness, and this really helped me to overcome it. I still, despite most people thinking I'm confident, refrain from making direct eye contact.
I whisper into the mic to make them turn the volume on their headsets up, then suddenly start yelling.
It really depends on who you're talking to. My advice is to be observant. Some would prefer banters. Usually when coming up with something witty, they return back what you said, but relating it in a playful or opposing manner, I hope you get what I mean, or playfully challenging your views. When it comes to touch, subtle touch on the arm or shoulders or patting the head and smile. Trying means to be with you is also a sign, but some are a lil more lowkey, like me, that'll probably prefer showing a playful side when it's just alone. So, it is also a sign if they change their aura from normal serious to playful when it's just you alone. I hope these help. According to Sherlock, licking lips, eyes cast down towards the other person's lips, quirky smile of the lips, dilated eyes. And if the person has long hair, tucking it behind their ear or other fidgety behavior. Please note I'm not Sherlock and I suck at flirting. I deduce by the stain on your collar you have an apple tree and a girlfriend with a limp. Diapered eyes. My dear, you look like you're full of shit. Can't stop staring at those diapered eyes. When people go out of their way to do something for you or say they really like spending time with you. I tend to lean in a lot, or if you are the flirter, talk a little quiet so they lean into you. Kind of inconvenient with the COVID social distancing, but for the future, fast forward to the part where they keep saying what? Because you keep talking low. When a person is making relatively sensual physical contact, please, and I mean please, get flustered, or at least mentally flustered. Do not ignore them, because you've known them a while. Do not pass it off as jokes, look for some signals. You'll regret not doing so. I've never been oblivious, but goddamn have I missed hints before. Edit, wow, I'm glad some people are as hopeless as I was, but this being my top comment disappoints me. Instructions unclear. Girl touched my arm, I started doing my taxes. It's never a bad time to get on top of your taxes. That's just being responsible. Now, if she invites you over to do her taxes, you'd better do her taxes like she's never had them done before, boy. Take it from me, we were in a club she wanted to go to, she was checking the girls out and asked which one I liked. I told her the girl with the hair to one side. Now get this, dumb as me noticed she put her hair to one side, but thought nothing of it. I'm sure she sent out more hints and cues, but being a guy with poor self-worth, I brushed it all off, there's no way she's into me. I was so wrong, it took one of her guy friends telling me that she hasn't shut up about me all night to realize that, hang in, she does. Long story short, if you think there's a chance, don't be a dumbass and wait for luck to punch you in the face like it did me, take the chance, even if you're convincing yourself she isn't into you, she probably is. But did you end up asking her out? We're cuddling right now, it gets better, man. But did you ask her out? Mirroring body language. This is a tactic employed by people who work in sales, and it's not always conscious. This is a psychological disarmament tactic we, as humans, deploy on each other. In the case of someone who likes you, while interacting, watch for repetitious patterns and mimic their body language. Eventually, if you cross your arms and the person whose attention you are seeking does the same, for example, you can rely on that being a good sign. That's not to say you need to reposition or fidget while interacting. Remember, being comfortable and at ease is a way bigger turn and ultimately lends itself to a more approachable experience for all parties. After all, acting natural is the penultimate GD mind trick. Every time I remember to watch for this is when I notice I've been mirroring their body language. Lmao. I pick my nose, she doesn't, every single time. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. People will give a lot of cues subconsciously, also some actions are flirting for some, but just being friendly for others too. Pay attention to their eye contact with you compared to others. If one has small amount of eye contact with others, but a lot with you, generally it means they're comfortable with you. Physical contact is usually big for people who aren't already touchy, people will generally be more touchy with those they like. When in a group and everyone's laughing, people generally look at the one they're most comfortable with first, or the one they like, could be either or both. Action imitation is big. If you think someone is into you, do an action like hands in pocket or something. If they copy, they probably like you or are paying serious attention to you for some reason. If they laugh at your dumb joke, either they like you or the joke made them uncomfortable, depends on the situation. Playing with hair is one that can mean something too, but some people also just do that a lot anyway. Really, I'd say some things can be a good tell more often than not, but sometimes those actions can just be them being friendly, unless it's blatantly obvious it can be something else. That's why the communication or the risk of asking someone is important. I'm really struggling to determine if any of this is helpful or not, lol. Sometimes it is incredibly helpful, and sometimes it won't help you one bit.